In a move that has sparked widespread debate and legal backlash, the Pentagon has mobilized 200 National Guard troops following President Donald Trump's unexpected announcement regarding Portland. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this a necessary measure to protect federal interests or an overreach of presidential power? Let's dive into the details and explore the growing tensions surrounding this decision. On September 28, 2025, just a day after Trump declared he was deploying the U.S. military to Portland, Oregon, life in the city appeared deceptively normal. Bikers and runners casually traversed Waterfront Park, seemingly unfazed by the looming presence of federal troops. Yet beneath this calm surface, a storm of political and legal battles was brewing. And this is the part most people miss. While Trump justified the deployment as a response to domestic terrorists, critics argue it's a politically motivated move targeting Democratic-run cities. Summary of key developments. Oregon fights back. The state has filed a lawsuit against Trump, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, accusing them of infringing on Oregon's sovereignty by deploying troops without valid justification. Federal authority asserted. Hegseth placed 200 National Guard troops under federal control, a decision that has raised eyebrows among legal experts and local officials. Pattern of deployment. This isn't an isolated incident. Trump has previously sent troops to other Democratic-led cities like Los Angeles and Washington, D.C., sparking protests and legal challenges. The legal showdown. Oregon's lawsuit, filed by Democratic Attorney General Dan Rayfield, sharply criticizes Trump's characterization of Portland as a war-ravaged city under siege. The suit highlights that protests against immigration and customs enforcement, ICE, have been small and contained since June, contradicting Trump's claims. Defendants have infringed on Oregon's sovereign power to manage its own law enforcement and National Guard resources, the lawsuit states. Pentagon's surprise. Trump's decision caught even his own Pentagon officials off guard. It was a bolt from the blue, one anonymous official remarked. The military had been focused on potential deployments in cities like Chicago and Memphis, not Portland. This sudden shift has left many questioning the rationale behind the move. Crime statistics versus political rhetoric. Despite Trump's focus on crime, preliminary data from the Major Cities Chiefs Association shows that violent crime in Portland has dropped significantly in 2025, with homicides falling by 51% compared to the previous year. This raises questions about the necessity of deploying troops to a city experiencing declining crime rates. Historical context. Portland's history with federal intervention dates back to 2020, when protests erupted following the killing of George Floyd. At the time, civic leaders argued that Trump's deployment of federal troops escalated tensions rather than restoring order. This latest move reignites those concerns. The use of force debate. Trump's statement that troops could use full force if necessary has sparked alarm. Does this imply lethal force? And under what conditions? While U.S. troops can use force in self-defense domestically, the ambiguity of Trump's wording has fueled anxiety among residents and officials alike. Local reaction. Portland Mayor Keith Wilson, like many Oregon officials, learned of the deployment via social media. Sending in 200 National Guard troops to guard a single building is not normal, Rayfield commented, referring to an ICE facility. The move has been widely seen as disproportionate and politically charged. Broader implications. This deployment comes amid growing tensions over Trump's aggressive immigration policies, exacerbated by a recent shooting at an ICE facility in Dallas. As cities grapple with these measures, the question remains, are such deployments a legitimate exercise of federal authority or a dangerous overstep? Final thoughts and questions for you. Trump's actions have undeniably polarized opinions. Is this a justified response to perceived threats or a politically motivated power play? How should the balance between federal authority and state sovereignty be maintained in such situations? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you.